If you like our video, click the button to subscribe to our channel and get easy access to new content. To see our full suite of ad-free video courses, instruction manuals, and quick reference guides, visit us at www.teachucomp.com. The stroke dialog box in Photoshop lets you apply a border of color to a selection in a raster layer or to all contents of a raster layer in Photoshop. Note that you cannot use the stroke dialog box to stroke the contents of a non-rasterized layer, layers that contain fully locked pixels, or the background layer. If you want to stroke content in vector layers using the stroke dialog box, then you must first rasterize the layer. However, if you intend to edit the vector content later, as may be the case if applying a stroke to a type vector layer, you may want to instead apply a stroke using the stroke layer style effect. This lets you edit the content of the vector layer after applying the stroke layer style effect. To stroke content in layers with fully locked pixels using the stroke dialog box in Photoshop, you must first remove the pixel locking. To stroke the background layer using the stroke dialog box in Photoshop, you must convert it into a regular layer. To apply a stroke in Photoshop using the stroke dialog box, first select the layer with the raster content to stroke in the Layers panel in Photoshop. If needed, to stroke a selection in the layer, then make the selection to stroke. If you do not make a selection, then Photoshop applies a stroke to the outer edge of all pixel content in the layer. Then select Edit, Stroke from the menu bar to open the Stroke dialog box. Type the pixel width of the stroke to apply into the Width field in the Stroke dialog box. The stroke applies the current foreground color choice by default. To set the stroke color, which also changes the current foreground color choice in Photoshop, click the Color Sample to open the Color Picker Stroke Color dialog box. Then select the desired stroke color and click the OK button to return to the Stroke dialog box. To set the location of the stroke in relation to the edge of the pixel selection or layer content, select either the Inside, Center, or Outside option button in the Location section. To set the blending mode of the stroke, select a choice from the Mode drop-down in the Blending section. To set the stroke's opacity, enter the desired opacity percentage into the Opacity field. Optionally, to protect transparent pixels in the selected layer from the stroke, check the Preserve Transparency checkbox. However, this option is only available in layers with transparent backgrounds. To apply the stroke, click the OK button in the Stroke dialog box to apply the stroke border to the selection or layer. Remember to click the subscribe button to see more of our videos. See our full suite of courses, instruction manuals, and quick reference guides at www.teachucomp.com.